Alright, y'all. I played this the first time and I lost the game. So let me restart and let me just re-record because that was a fail. Alright, so anyways, nothing but darkness surrounds me. I close my eyes, desperately trying to blink it away, but there's just nothingness. A void. I'm alone. Where am I? What am I doing here? How did I even get here? I try moving my legs. Nothing. As hard as I try to run away, my body refuses to cooperate. I try my arms next. Frozen. Before I can try anything else, a light appears in the distance. There's something else flickering right next to that light. I can barely make it out, but what little I can see is horrifying. Glowing red eyes, bright white fangs, blood dripping from sharp talons. In an instant, they multiply, dancing around in the shadows. They laugh, demonic laugh, and they skitter towards me at an inhuman speed, their movements chaotic. I'm helpless as they close in around me. An aroma of metallic sweetness infiltrates my nostrils, and I'm surrounded, trapped. Pause. Then they pounce, claws tearing deep into my muscles as they grab a hold of me, teeth sinking into my flesh. I try to scream, but no sound escapes. Part 1, Hunger. Yeah, I failed part 1. I failed it miserably. Ah. My eyes jolt open as I wake up in a cold sweat. It was a dream. Just a dream. A close, or closer to a nightmare. Depends on how you feel about being torn apart by vampires, I guess. Which visual novel is that? I know that one, but which one's this? My heart feels like it's about to burst out of my chest as my mind races over the lingering memory of what I saw. I quickly scan my surroundings to make sure I'm actually in my room, and also alive. Everything is in its rightful place, and my laptop is asking me if I'd like to continue watching Death of the Dead. At this point, I should know better than to fall asleep watching horror movies, but I was lured in at the prospect of two hot characters kissing, and I just rested my eyes for a little too long. Oopsie. Some ridiculous part of my brain holds a kernel of hope that one day I'll enter a deliciously dark world of the unknown and the unexplainable. But for now, I'm stuck here. Even my dreams won't let me near what I want. And now that these thoughts are once again racing through my mind, I know it's absolutely fruitless to try to fall back asleep, but I try nonetheless. I go through every trick in the book. Breathing exercises, counting sheep, writing erotic fanfiction in my head, decidedly unhelpful. Surprise, surprise, I'm still awake. I am blankly staring at my ceiling. Great job, me. I sigh, pushing the covers off my body. There's no point staying in bed. I grab for my phone from my bedside, bracing myself as I check the time. 3 a.m. Once again, my body has betrayed me by falling into the disgusting habitual cycle, having a nightmare, wake up, stay awake, rinse, repeat. Defeated, I yawn and stretch my bones as I stand and I make my way to my bedroom mirror. I drag my fingers down my cheeks and glare at my reflection, illuminated by the dangling fairy lights. What's your first name? I'm gonna go with Nori. Last name? Um, Aura. Pronoun. I'm gonna go she, her this time. Eye color. I'm gonna go with brown. Take a deep breath. I am Nori Aura and I am going to have a good night. If only my therapist could see me right now. A positive affirmation to start my... Wait. Is it night? Morning? The time between times? Normally when this disjointed sleeping pattern cures me, I either read my old collection of goose flesh books for the 100th time or write for my website. The singularly most interesting thing about me is that I have cradled and nurtured a cryptid blog to a nice level of internet fame. Ghostin is my main source of serotonin and started out as a tiny forum, an avenue to find and cultivate friendships with those that love the strange and unusual as much as I do. It still serves the same purpose now, but on a larger scale. Mingling still happens, and the original forums are as active as ever, but I had to get creative and produce different types of content in order to keep myself afloat in this economy. My review of Where Are the Werewolves goes up later today, and I also need to upload the How to Attract Bigfoot video. The crown jewel of Ghostin is also overdue for an update. It's an erotica section lovingly dubbed the Cryptid Coitus Corner, and it surprised me to see it became the most popular part of the website. I'll admit, I'm no Bill Shakespeare, but it warms my heart to see people coming back for my wide and varied selection of supernatural erotica. Who knew that horny horror was like catnip to people all over the world and not just me? Fortunately, I'm stuck on my latest would-be masterpiece, and all I have is a potential questionable title. Mummy Milkers. It's a work in progress. We should change the title for sure, dude. I wave it off. I'll figure all that out later and update the Cryptid Coitus Corner when inspiration hits. I lazily scan my room, trying to hit the motivation jackpot. When I pause on my window, the moon is full and bright against the starless sky, an excellent setting for some ominous entertainment. Maybe I need to get out, go for a walk, see what early morning Portland offers me. There's enough weirdness happening during the day in the city, so I'm pretty sure something's bled over into the twilight hours. With my mind made up, I mosey over to my closet. What does one wear for a witching hour stroll? All black like my soul, comfort is key, let's go dress for the night. Shit, if I'm going out, I'm doing it in style. 3 a.m. may be, but I can and will look my best at any hour. I dig my most expensive sweater I own and pulled over the jeans that make my ass look amazing. An at-home BBL. I pose in front of the mirror, blowing a kiss to Mir Nori. Looking good. I'm a little abuzz with excitement as I gather my bearings. The most radical thing I've done lately is quit my gray-tone office job and pick up shifts at a local coffee shop to supplement the income from my website. It's comforting knowing that there are others like me who have this undeniable attraction to the things that go bump in the night, despite the monotony of the day-to-day. It's easier to exist when you blend in and squirrel away an untoward interest. It avoids awkward conversation and no one's caught on my deep, dark secrets yet. There was a time where I felt like that my desires for the supernatural were something to be ashamed of. And well, maybe they are in a polite society, but after I spent too many brain-rotting hours in an office cubicle, I decided I would lean into the delusion to bring some color back into my life. Most people don't see the values in that sort of thing, and that's fine. But I can't help it. Something about the occult excites me more than anything else. It's always been that way. I gave up trying to fight it a long time ago. I shake the thoughts from my head. It's no use thinking about that now. I have some inspiration to look for. I grab my phone, my wallet, and my house keys from my desk and give my room a once-over, making sure I'm not forgetting anything. Then, with the final flash of some finger guns to my reflection in the mirror, I'm outie. It isn't long until I find myself standing outside the house. 6969 Dead End Drive. Nice. It's creepy and old and no one actually knows who owns it, and right now it's luring me in. Normally I pass by on my walk to the coffee shop and during the day give it no more than a fleeting thought. Maybe it's the desperation for a crumb of inspiration, but tonight I'm intrigued. For years I thought it was totally abandoned, the windows all covered with what looks like scraps of newspaper, but what gives me pause is the front yard. It's too well kept. Those bushes don't tend to themselves. Like every historic neighborhood, there's always that one house that has particularly bad reputation, and this gothic beauty is it. I've heard all the stories. I count them on my fingers. Witches who eat children, an axe murderer who slaughtered their whole family, a pack of feral stray cats overthrowing their previous owner, a lycanthrope's hideout, and my personal favorite, vampires. I always thought it was a joke to scare away kids, to stop them from playing on their lawn, but if only it were true. I find myself just standing here, staring, tempted by the house and what might linger inside it, which isn't the smartest move. In October, in the Pacific Northwest, it's dark, I'm cold, it's also definitely about to rain. I should go in. The words fall out of my mouth without thought, just pure impulse, just coming, the mystery tugging at my curiosity. I shrug to myself and look around. No one's here to witness my petty crime of breaking and entering. With my journalistic integrity intact, I will myself to stroll up to the house. The porch groans loudly in protest as I step on it and my hand reaches out for the front door. I apply gentle pressure and the door just swings open with a deliciously spooky, decidedly terrifying creak. That's not what I expected. Was it just ajar like that? Damn, I was very prepared to use the lockpicking skills I picked up from all the video games I played, which totally would have worked. As the door swings open, a slight breeze flows from inside, like someone forgot to close the fridge and let out the cold. I shiver against it, and then finally I hesitate. Should I really be adding trespasser to my resume? Am I actually doing this? Yes, don't be hard. On second thought, let's not. I quickly talk myself down from the wild notion of literally breaking into someone's house. And for what? To snoop through someone's old drawers? Not even a chance of centrally shaping clay to the sound of the Righteousness Brothers with a hot ghost spooning me can get me into this creepy old house. This is not a good idea, Nori. In fact, this is literally the worst idea you've had since MySpace layout in 2007. What if I fall through an old rotted floor? Life Alert won't be able to help me then. Do we even have Life Alert? And then I'll die of starvation and no one will find me. And then my corpse will get eaten by feral cats and then, nope, I'm out. I hastily turn away from the house on Dead End Drive and wander my way back to my apartment. What was I thinking? I scold myself as I change back into my pajamas. I brew some hot coffee and plop down at my desk looking over all the updates I need to do for Ghostin'. I'm still stuck in writer's block, but that's okay. I made it through worse creative lulls. My mind floats back to the house on Dead End Drive, and I can't help but wonder about what lives deep within its walls. Sadly, I'll never know, because months later the house went up for sale. A greedy capitalist corporation bought it, flattened it, and now it's going to be turned into an overpriced condom condominiums for the rich. I'm still here in my little apartment living my ordinary life, but it's fine. My mind gives me all the adventure I need. You went home? Okay, well, shortest game ever. Hope you enjoyed it, I guess. What the fuck? Wait, what is the loaded game? Okay, we have nothing to load. Okay. Okay. Alright. We're gonna skip some of this. Skip, 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 skip. Yeah. Alright, we're Nori, Laura, she, her. We got this. Eye color, brown. Alright, skip. We're dressing to the nines. Yes, don't be a coward. What would my therapist say? She told me it would be a good idea for me to say yes to more things in my life. This is almost certainly what she was talking about. Listen, Nori, you can go into this house and do it right now. Think of the possibilities, and if there are no corporeal beings, hopefully there will be a hot ghost that won't make me want to shit my pants. I push the door open a little and squeeze inside. It's now or never. Once I get inside the house, my teeth start chattering. It's cold, like really fucking cold. Someone forgot the heating exists? I think I'm in a small foyer, but it's hard to tell because without the soft glow of the moon, I can barely see my hand in front of my face. I pull out my phone and turn on the flashlight and inspect my surroundings. As I shine my light around the room, I see this place that appears to be lost in time. Nothing seems to have changed since the 1800s, at least. Not the furniture, the wallpaper, or the smell. I inhale deeply and catch the scent of something pungent, hidden deep within the normal old house musk. Unpleasant as it is, it's an aroma that intrigues the rest of my senses, beckoning me to find the rest of the secrets packed within these walls. At the end of the hall, I see light sneaking through the crack of a half-open door. Whoever's here, if anyone at all, must be in there. I hold my breath as I listen intently for clues, and surely enough, there are signs of life I craved. I hear what sounds like muffled conversation, and then a very clear... Oh. I raise an eyebrow. Now this is something worth investigating. As I take another step, the floorboards creak loudly under my feet. Shit. I pause, silent as a grave, as still as a statue, and pray those muffled voices didn't hear me. There's a tense moment before the voices continue and I release the breath I was holding. I pass the stealth check. Maybe. Continuing to sneak along the dark corridor, I crept closer and closer to illuminated room. Then I'm right outside the cracked door with my back against the wall, and now that I'm closer I can hear them more clearly. Three. Three distinctly different, dulcet tones echo in the hallway.
Do you smell that?
Everything goes deathly silent. Then,
Smells like human in here.
I freeze
There it
instantly.
is again.
I keep telling you, it's your dirty cups piled in the sink. You're just as shit at doing dishes as you are playing cards.
At least when he sucks at cards, there's a chance he'll have to take his clothes off.
Every day the cups keep piling up and not a nipple in sight.
First of all, I'm good at everything. A warrior like me just can't waste his time on trivial things like cards and dishes. Gotta save my huge brain and muscles for more important things. Second,
I hear the sound of someone inhaling
my
deeply.
nose never lies. I smell human.
The speaker's words hit me like a thunderbolt. What had I been thinking, skulking about in the hallway and eavesdropping on whoever lives here? Could be a trope of axe murderers for all I
Have we
know.
already forgotten the time your nose led us straight into that werewolf house party?
Somehow, despite the growing panic in my chest, the phrase werewolf house party made me snort. I covered my mouth with my hand immediately, as though it might somehow take it back, but it's too late. Well, well, well. You might have company after
Go
all.
on. Show yourself.
I can't describe the feeling, but it's like I'm being compelled to step from the darkness and into the light. My feet propel me forward of their own accord, carrying me around the corner as I resign myself to the fact that I've been caught. What I see when I enter the room jolts me right out of my numbness into a state of shock. Uncontrollably, my heart skips a beat. 3 voices that I heard are matched by 3 equally as mesmerizing faces. They're so beautiful it almost hurts to look at them. And by the look of their slightly perturbed and yet also slightly intrigued expressions, I've clearly interrupted something. Using my big galaxy brain, I surveyed the situation and decided my next move. There's a mess of playing cards and glasses of red wine strewn across the table in front of them. The way they're holding their cards reminds me of an old spaghetti western right before the shootout in the saloon. Westworld. The 3 of them stare at me in a way that makes me feel like a ham ready for carving. None of them speak, they just evaluate me with this bizarre hunger in their gaze. I should say something to shatter this long, incredibly awkward pause. Howdy. Howdy, partners. The words are barely out of my mouth before they leap towards me at inhuman speed, knocking me down. On my back and pushing me down against the carpet. The breath leaves my lungs and my hands burn at bare skin and textile collide.
See? I fucking told you I smelled human. Never doubt me again.
No treat for you, just for getting it right, Elias. Assuming we all want to call dibs, should we rock, paper, scissors for her?
Dibs. Really, Laurel? Can't we just share? We haven't done that in a while.
No, Valeria. As the oldest, smartest, and hottest, the human is mine by right.
I feel like a piece of furniture out for an auction at a swap meet. Am I into that? I'm completely mesmerized by every hand movement, every turn of the lips, every glance in my direction as they bicker. My heart races as I can feel myself getting unnaturally hot despite the freezing temperature of the house.
Don't be greedy, Ellie. Think of all the fun we could have.
That's all it is for you. Fun. You two enjoy those prepackaged little blood baths. But a hunter like me needs to fear. My fangs haven't pierced flesh in so long.
The biggest one has me pinned to the floor, but despite this threatening words, they don't exactly seem intent on killing me right this second. Even lying prone on the ground, first thing I notice is their teeth. They're deadly points of canines. Their skin doesn't have the same plumpness or glow that mine does, almost like the capillaries forgot to refill with blood. And the mirror behind them has no reflection. No, this cannot be happening, can it? There's no way they're actually vampires? The word crashes out and they turn to me hungry, unforgiving, and feral. The one they call Valeria grabs a hold of my chin with a delicate hand, but there's nothing delicate about the way she holds me.
Looks like we have a fan on our hands.
It looks like we do.
Her dark brows are pinched when she leans closer, her head tilted like she's sizing me up.
You interrupted us, kitten. And Elias here was just about to take his shirt off.
Taking your shirt off is for losers. And I was clearly winning.
Winning? I'm afraid. Laura, let him dream.
I don't have to dream about winning. Winning is all I do. Look at these muscles. My face, these cards.
The trio continues to bicker amongst themselves, and I just lie here watching. Vampires are just myths, monsters made up by confused historians and then embellished by storytellers seeking to make us feel something. There has to be a simple explanation for these three, but now is not the time to get myself worked up in my own little fantasies. It's probably just some sort of kiki vampire LARP event. Cosplayers who lift or something. I'm usually so on top of those gatherings. The costuming and props are serious. Moving magic fangs, even the red wine in their glasses looks like real blood, and it wouldn't surprise me if they rented out this house for their own pleasure. There's no way they're real vampires. Who are you? A deadly silence fills the space between us gracelessly, interrupt their quarreling. Valeria's hand gets tighter on my chin. Ilias's body feels heavier against me. Who are we?
You don't think we're real?
I don't give a shit what she thinks. She'll know we're real enough when her blood is sliding down our throats.
Too much talking, not enough killing.
Ilias lunges for me at a speed that my eyes can hardly register, and I'm in such a broken state of shock that I say the first thing that comes in my head. They all pause immediately, going still as statues as they look at me, with a distinct mix of disgust and confusion.
Parlay?
Do we look like fucking pirates to you?
You are what you eat, I suppose. Yo ho ho.
I'm sorry, is there like a vampire version of Parley? Where you have to let me explain myself before you kill me?
That green shit they put on your food to make it look nice?
Parlay, not parsley. It's some bullshit the human picked up from the movies. You know, parlay.
Clearly, Ilias does not know.
Besides, it's bold of you to assume we have anything to talk to you about, human.
She could surprise you, Val.
You know, I never thought I'd be reminiscing about all the sailors I've eaten when I first sensed her quivering around the corner.
Honestly, Laurel, who hasn't eaten a ship full of sailors?
Oh, now you've got me thinking about that time in Central Bay.
She gives my head an idle little shake, her fingers digging into my cheeks and making my mouth purse as she stares wistfully into the
Oh,
distance.
pristine beaches, expensive wines, obnoxious tourists no one will miss.
As they once again continue to talk as if I'm not there, my gaze filts between their gorgeous, terrifying faces despite to find something I can use. All those years of memorizing books and movies and useless video games and the cryptid lore has prepared me for this moment. I rack my brain for what little information I've managed to learn about these three thus far. The biggest one, Ilias, is apparently the oldest and seems to believe that he's the best of the three of them in every way. He's probably susceptible to flattery. Valeria, the most petite of the trio, seems to have a pinch of luxury, if the glazed look in her eyes when she mentions Saint Tropez, if anything to go by. But finally, Laurel, the hardest to read of the three, gives me the distinct impression that they might be open to be entertained. I won't have much time to try whatever it is I'm going to do, so I better choose a vampire fast and just go for it. Flatter Ilias, ask Valeria about Saint Tropez, offer Laurel to be entertained. Yeah. Laurel, you seem like the type to appreciate a little entertainment. You know, dinner and a show? The light sparks in their dark eyes. I have to have hope that that's a sign of genuine interest, however mild or
And
controlled.
you've got all that from 5 minutes of eavesdropping. Surely not. You must be a truly gifted psychic.
A joke, clearly, but there's a soft lilt to their casual tone where I'd expect to hear sarcasm. Should I be worried? Come on, Laurel. A human, psychic.
Oh, incredible. The things that fly over your head, Illy.
I'm being serious, Val. A clairvoyant has arrived to teach us about ourselves.
Uh-oh. Aren't you at least a little curious? Not one bit. You see that, human? My companion don't believe you. My chest flutters, keenly aware of the predicament I've launched myself
I
into.
think you ought to prove yourself. Tell me what I'm thinking right now.
Boring.
That's not entertainment, that's...
Not every moment can be a rave, Illy. Where were we? Ah, yes. You were going to read my mind.
I'm thinking about you, thinking about me, how brave I am, drinking my blood. Probably how brave I am.
Brave. You think bravery is busting into someone's house uninvited? You have no idea what real courage looks like, human.
Once again, the three beautiful people are arguing amongst themselves, and I'm left with a moment to ponder my options. There's no going back for me. And maybe I I don't know what the word is, my way through this extremely sexy, scary predicament. It's clear to me we'll never settle on who gets to eat me if we continue on like this. You're all just too sexy, cool, and clever. And I suppose you have our answer, do you?
Again, wasting time talking when we could be feeding.
Now, Ellie. How often do we get entertainment of this collabor delivered to our doorstep? I want to see what cute little scheme she's got in her pocket. The massive vampire actually pouts.
Actually, it hurts to be this bored, you know?
I suppose we could hear her suggestion before we tear her apart. Talk fast, human. I can only keep these two from your throat for so long. Okay, well, I was thinking maybe I could ask the three of you a couple of questions, for me to get to know you a little better. That way we can see who's the best fit
You're
for the
holding
team.
Illy and I back for a fucking job interview.
I haven't had a job in...
He frowns, his eyes squinting, mouth opening and closing. He seems to be thinking particularly hard about something. He raises his hand and looks to be counting on his fingers, but he gives up after a few minutes. A long fucking time, and I'll be damned if I start now. Laurel inhales and exhales quietly, a smile on those perfect purple lips.
Absolute treasures, aren't they? Keep talking.
If they really are the creatures of the night that they claim to be, I'd better continue to think fast. I've survived thus far on wit alone, and I can't let it fail me now. Maybe confidence is key, or maybe I could throw them off. I'm an expert on your kind. I'm still not convinced you're real. This might backfire. I stand my ground. Surely I can easily play their game and win them over with compliments. There's just no way you're not LARPers, silly, sexy LARPers. I smirk at them, trying my best to make sure it doesn't shake nervously at the edges. Either way, I guess it doesn't matter. Laurel exhales a lilting laugh.
Yes, sirrah.
Certainly
An interesting credo to live by and die by.
You really are quite bold for a blood bag, aren't you?
I admire your tenacity, I suppose. We'll indulge you, but this is truly your last chance. Billy is clearly on a different page than Laurel and Valeria entirely, flexing his big, beefy arm.
I just can't believe you think that humans could ever have muscles like mine.
Valeria narrows her eyes at me as Elias palms his fist. He looks pretty keen on ripping me to shreds.
Billy, not yet.
A moment of raw tension
This
passes.
better be as fun as you seem to think it will be, Laurel. I can think of a million better ways to spend my time.
Twitter, for example. Laurel, I don't blame her. Laurel pointedly ignores
Tell me,
her.
what exactly drove you to fling yourself into this pit of vipers, human?
Elias grumbles.
God, it's so boring when you play Puppet Master. I'm over it. Enough talking. I'm taking what's mine.
A look passes over Valeria's face like she suddenly reconsidered things.
Oh.
You suddenly don't want to hunt her now, Ellie? Elias grumbles.
Come on.
She's just standing here like we owe her something.
A hunt can take many forms, Elias.
Even that of light chit-chat, Elias throws him both a look of open disgust, but his sighs sound a lot like defeat. However, temporary that may be.
I'll make it fun for you, Illy.
If I know, I'll finally bring that pretty little clerk home for dinner.
I'll even let you have the first bite.
Beefy vampire remains unconvinced. You don't make it easy, do you? Let's bring out the big guns, shall we? And here I was, saving this treat for a special occasion. Ilias perks up a bit.
Humor me, and I'll hand over that extra special, super rare Wagelad spread from the 1992 Party Down edition of Glow Rods Weekly.
That does it.
The one with the,
Yes,
and the...
yes.
I even have it laminated to guard against your nightly
Fine,
excursion.
human. Check this shit out.
Ilias straight up flexes, showing me his delts, biceps, triceps, and a multitude of muscles I can't even name. You read enough dirty magazines to know that humans are definitely capable of achieving such a body, Illy.
I'll also take the liberty to remind you that you had those muscles when you were alive.
Yeah, well, can a human do this?
Ilias drops to the ground and straight into a planking
Get on my
position.
back, Laurel! You too, Val.
Fuck.
You could not be fucking serious. Alright, y'all. We met the vampires. We stayed alive thus far. Except the first time I recorded and I died. I'll get back to this. Thanks for watching.